Hello, Internet, and welcome back to the penultimate episode of Space Engineers 2. Yeah, I've decided that, come hell or high water, this is going to be the final episode. Just because I've realized a lot of what I enjoy in Space Engineers is building wacky physics creations and whatnot. And right now you can't do that here. I feel like I've seen the bulk of what I can see. I've sort of done the bulk of what I want to do. One more episode should give us just the last little bit of context we need to then say, okay, we've done everything that we can. And speaking of things, there is that unknown signal down over there, which in SE2 world is like a structure or base. And I kind of want to check that out. I think it's actually going to work perfectly because I need to get down to the planet for that active contract. And this thing is not set up to land on planets. So I think my best bet is going to be going over here, seeing what it is, and then hopefully scrapping it. If I can get enough parts to put, better thrusters on this ship, I should be in a pretty good way. And I may do some slight rearranging of things to make it work, because I think a mix of atmospheric and hydrogen thrust. Oh, there's another unknown thing out there. Gosh, space is busy. Oh, that's actually a rock. That's good to know. That blends in disturbingly well. In fact, I don't even know if you can tell. As I move at this angle, you can see, yeah. I don't know if you could even see that on YouTube initially. I also need to remember how flight works, because I've realized part of why flying feels weird to me is I'm used to flying by looking at what the ship is doing. I need to look at what the little circle I move is doing, because that, I move it to a point on the screen and that's where it stays. And the ship moves itself to it. So if I fly based on looking at that, I should be able to... Oh. Okay, the rapid spinning is a different issue, but I should at least be able to vaguely tell what I'm doing. Okay, what's... Oh. Hello, little hidden platform. Let's see if we can't maneuver in. Just because, again, more practice. Oh, cozy. I don't quite fit. In fact, I should really... If I nose in like this, my back end can sort of dangle out. Okay. Oh, look, gravity. Looks like they may have a slight kitchen fire. Oh, in fact. They've had a breach. That's something I've not really played around with yet, but I mean, that does look good. The sort of damage to boxes. I don't know. I assume that this is the real breaking apart of stuff. Like this would happen if I smacked that ship into that rock. Something similar looking. Oh god, yeah, they do have a kitchen fire. Well, I know how to put out kitchen fires, just move the kitchen. That is cool, though. We've got that sort of classic bit of old storytelling. Oh, that was me thumping. Again, you hear weird thumpy noises. I got scared that there was a thing here. Okay. So it looks like... Ooh, gold thread. Could make a real awesome looking hat with that. A hat I feel like is the least common thing you'd think of with using thread, but they do. Okay. So there's probably not going to be a ton here, but ooh, a gravity core. Yeah, this should hopefully at least get me a bit of basic materials that I can then use. To then try and figure out how to strap more thrust onto this thing. Also, is this an actual... It's a little storage container looking thing. Oh, there is stuff in it. Huzzah! Ooh, a mainframe. I don't know what any of that is good for, but I have it now. Right. Let's take off so we have some more working room. So, I think my best bet... My best bet's going to be probably a combo of things. If... Ah. Oh, interesting. So sometimes placement... Like, I can't place stuff on this surface, so even though it's connected on the right side there, that other thruster, it won't let me do it. But if I look at that thruster, there is a placement available, so it works. That's good to know. That could explain some of the weirdness I was finding where I was pretty sure I could place a block, but then it wouldn't let me place one. Pipe these guys up. Hopefully I can find things with grids in them here. But 6 big boosters will hopefully give me enough lift thrust. And then... yeah. I think I'll stick 2 of these guys up here. Yep, they look like they're in the right spots. They may not do much, but every little bit's gonna help, I think. So, we'll see if we can actually make these. I'll have to find some turbine blades. I do have some. Oh, right, and turbine blades are just nickel, so I keep thinking they're more valuable and expensive than they are. Okay. So I just need metal grids from something. Challenge is going to be, I don't actually know. I don't know if anything here will have them. They used to be very prevalent, of course, but they're in a lot less stuff now. And there were no ores. I detected here. No, nothing I can find. Well, now I'm wondering. So, the other ship, I think the other ship had 4 big lifters, but the other ship was also, well, you know, smaller, funnily enough. So, 4 lifters for a smaller vessel, I don't know if they would be able to lift all this. The issue, of course, there's no, like, I can't build parachutes. Those don't exist yet. Or I assume they will eventually. So, there's no safety net. If I don't have enough thrust and I get too low, I'm crashing into the ground. And as we saw, crashing into the ground is a pretty rapid event here. So I don't have any more anything on board, right? I've got 11 cobalt. I used most of that to build what I have. Yeah, I've got plenty of the battery cells, which is good. And I'm seeing nothing here. Right? Yeah. Nothing here that actually would contain grids. Everything's just going to be steel plate in various forms. Well, what options do I have then? So I can see there's the station way over there. There is, I can just see another asteroid, or I could go check out that unknown signal. Maybe I go to the other unknown signal first. See what they've got over there. Hopefully it's not just a copy of this. 1, that would be boring, and 2, that would be... oh boy. Useless. That's some thrust. Yeah. Unfortunately, there's another thing that affects flying in this game. There's no way for me to, like... Actually, I guess I can. Oh boy. There's no good way to differentiate which thruster is which. Oh no. So 0.5 meter, or yeah, 0.5 meter, 2 meter grid. So these are my big thrusters. But there's no, like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to tell me which one's which. These 3 I know are lifting because they aren't built yet. It's the little brown. Actually, okay. If I just shop these guys until they're no longer functional, I can tell which one's which. This is not a great long-term solution to this issue. Hopefully they put something in so I can tell which thrusters are which. But if I do all that, isn't there a way to group them? Yeah, group selected blocks. Now they're in a block group 1, which I can rename as lifting boosters. And then there's a way to turn these off, right? I hope there's a way to turn these off. Aside from what I just did. Yes. Okay. So what I have to do is, instead of having like hotbars, I have to manually go into the control system and turn those boosters on and off. But it means now they don't try and go. Oh, and I should probably add my Atmo boosters into that. Is there a way to add them? In? Nope. You have to do it all at once. Can I break a group? Yes. Which means I need to go and cut those mystery ones again. Okay. Now, that's done. We're good. Let's put a little ball on that and check these guys out. Okay. I do wonder, and I'm sure this information exists out there, I just don't know it personally. I wonder if things here are, like, are asteroids randomly generated, like in SE1? Or are they, I don't know what, I think I'm at the right orientation for this. No, I'm not. Yeah, are asteroids randomly generated, or are these all placed here? Because these unknown signals feel intentional. Partially because the asteroids they're on don't have any resources. But I don't know if all the asteroids are like that, because I passed, where was I? Yeah, that cluster you can kind of see there. I passed over them, and I didn't get close enough to check for resources, but I wonder if they have anything, or if they're just there. And kind of regardless of that, were they intentionally placed? Oh, good. Nope. That has blades, not grids. Dang it. Don't know what a combustion chamber's for. I got some more chrome coating, a hard drive. Yeah, I wonder what exists here and what has been intentionally made versus randomly spawned. Or if the entire solar system is intentionally placed out. Okay, those are little batteries. Crumbs. Got nothing. Nothing in terms of grid. It looks like there's a hydrogen tank. And I'm not seeing anything else fuel-wise, or resource-wise. Get all the little bits. Solar panels, no. They don't take grids. Why would they? Alright, I'm gonna go back and check out that other thing and see if maybe it has some cobalt on it. If not, I may just have to, you know, burn for the surface and hope 3 bigs plus these 2 Atmos are enough. Oh, haha! Cobalt. There's also some lead, but I don't think I need that. So let's get ourselves nice and in here. Yeah, thinking about it, I probably don't want to load up on lead before attempting a planetary touchdown. Assuming, you know, assuming lead has its traditional properties here, it's probably the worst material if I want to be light. You know, that's probably enough. Cobalt. Because I just need it to do this. Let's get our Not that. Is that all the steel I have? Yeah. Well, hopefully it's enough. I mean, these things will run without it, so... And yeah, I need 120 kilograms. I have 1.8 tons. So I'm doing alright. Alright, that was enough steel plates. Okay. I think we should be good. No. Actually, there's one more. I can do it from in here because there's no air tightness yet. That doesn't exist. Is there stuff in here? There might be stuff in here. There's stuff in here. There we go. Alright. This doesn't matter either, but I just, in the spirit of keeping things, you know, working, I want the bottom of the connector to be flush with the bottom of these thrusters for when I land. Which, yeah, I think means placing it fully exposed. Which means I also need some sort of adapter. Probably this guy, and then... No, not you. Yeah, so if I do that, then one of these... I've got to make sure that's welded. Ooh, which is going to be a slight issue because I need plate. Okay, but I don't need it for this. So it should all work. Alright. Yeah, so now if I'm on the deck with those touching, that will still connect to things. I just need a bunch of tubes for that, which I can get. The fact that I can access stuff just straight through conveyor bits is very good. Alright, floor is not perfect, but I can't patch it right now. Let's head down to the planet. Gonna go ahead and turn all the lifting boosters on, just so I remember. They may come in handy if we accidentally scrape Atmo here. Battery isn't great, but I don't know how quickly the big thrusters will drain it. I think there were two big thrusters with one battery on the little hop about, and granted it didn't need as much power to fly, but it lasted quite some time, so I'm gonna guess that we're good. That 44% should get us down to the surface. I do think I'm landing at night, which I may, you know, use my mind powers to change. Because frankly, landing at night is no fun when I'm trying to entertain people and show things. We're actually... We're going far enough around the planet, I'll probably have to stop, readjust, and dive. Oh, the sun actually... Oh, hold on. We may not be landing in the dark because I think I'm riding the sunrise. The sun just came up over me. So actually, this may be perfect. We'll be getting there right at daybreak. Yeah, we're definitely now careening away from the planet. But because of how thrusters seem to work, I have to fully come to a stop in order to correct that. I guess I could turn off my reverse thrusters. Again, there's the inconvenience of not knowing which thrusters those are. But at the very least, if I did that, it's still a pain to go in and fix, though. We'll roll and use our big boosters to help us. Okay, we'll keep rolling because that's how this is going to have to work. This is very Space Engineers. Okay. So now... do we just dive? I don't actually know. I mean, ideally, I come down straight over top of this. That's going to be the most efficient fuel burn. But it's hard to... I don't know exactly how high up space is versus gravity. I think if we just burn like this, this should give us enough that we can kind of... even if we're a little in gravity, we shouldn't be falling. And then we can go straight down mostly. Oh, okay, gravity is ticking up now. Just see it in the lower right corner by my, well, fuels and things. We're pretty close. And I guess right now I'm not using any fuel because I'm just falling. I have dampeners off. So I should be able to do that for a while and just test periodically. See what's happening. Make sure we have enough thrust to not continue plummeting. Okay, let's... yeah. Stopped pretty good there. I may manually stop my forward momentum. As we kind of plummet in here. Oh boy. It's starting to get scary. At 5K, I'm going to hit dampeners again. Go. Okay, we're decelerating. That's good. We decelerate at about 1K and 0.86 G. I'm going to do it again. Oh, I'm going to do it now because I'm scared. Oh boy, oh boy. Plenty of room. Nothing to worry about. Though... okay, there's some weird dampener behaviors that make going down real awkward. Apparently you're fighting against your lift thrust whenever you try and go down. I do hope, I mean... again, it's a work in progress. There's a lot happening that will eventually change. I do hope that they really revisit flight mechanics and how thrusters are working, because it just feels awkward. It doesn't fly like nearly as elegantly feeling, to me at least, as flight in SE1. And again, it may just be experience. I know how to fly in SE1. It's very dark here. But yeah. Also... Yeah, also the lack of any nav ball makes knowing what on earth is going on right now a little tricky. Okay. We've got plenty of fuel, and it looks like I'm in the land of ice and snow, so assuming snow gives you fuel. It may not now, considering dirt has been nixed. If I kind of fly down casually, that should let me... Nope, 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 nope. Nope, we're going in. Oh! Ow! Did I survive that? No, I didn't. I don't think I have. No, I did. Where's my little ball? Ah, I'm scared. I don't have control. Ow. Okay. We've landed. Oh, boy. Okay. My flight seat's a little banged up. I didn't do very much damage there. All things considered. Okay, I lost a door. But all things considered, that was, you know, better than the average crash landing. Okay, I lost that thruster. Looks like I damaged those. That wouldn't have helped. Okay. Well, we're here. How close are we? 500 meters from the contract. Got a hunk of iron here. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, I will take partial potential blame. I don't know if I have enough gyroscopes on this thing, and if that is my issue. Because I only have 6 of them, and it was enough to get things moving, and it felt like it worked fine. But maybe more gyroscopes help with stopping power? I don't know. We're here. The antenna's still antennaing. I do think I was saved. Let's see, can I find my divot? Yeah, there it is. I do think I was mostly saved by the whole low-speed physics stopping happening thing. Because I definitely did more damage to the ground than the ground seemed to do to me. Though, that said, everything's a little banged up, and somehow, despite everything outside looking fine, the cockpit, the actual flight seat, caught fire. We'll leave this here. Let's see what this contract has got going for it. Retrieve containers. That makes sense to me. So this is the storage area. I assume all those are containers. Ah, okay. Well, and this is the answer I was sort of looking for here. I was curious if they were just going to be like, hey, move these containers at this base, figure it out. And no, they have provided me with a little flying forklift, which is nice of them, but I was really hoping this wouldn't be here. Because again, and I think they know it, and I've talked about it in the last episode fairly at length, building in this game is awkward and tedious, especially in creative mode. They seem to have gone to every length they could to avoid you having to do it, because they know that it's awkward and tedious. I hope that knowing that means that they are going to push to fix it, and not that they are going to just implement this as a solution. Because this isn't a great solution, just being given partially deconstructed ships with blocks ghosted out that you just have to build. So we'll do this. And I guess it does, I mean, the component, well, let's see. Are the components here? So there's some steel. Some more steel. We'll find out. I'm hoping that at least the components aren't just all here and you just have to find them. At least that's some Space Engineers style gameplay if I have to go out and mine the bits to get everything running. Oh, though. It's looking less likely. I'm finding a lot of thrustery bits. Okay, that's not for building, but that's fine. I may have a convenient bunch of components ready to go. I do need to rocket forward at the very least, so I need to get this built. Oh no. Oh, you can type stuff. Okay, it's fixing itself. That was a dampener flaw, I believe. Okay. I didn't check that my inventory was empty, but I don't think I had anything in it. It's looking like I just found all the components by roaming about the base, and then some, to get that fully built. Yeah, okay. Oh, zippy. Well, this is a fun little mini game, at the very least. I may wait until the sun... Actually, hold on. I have the power here. Also, I'll note that the classic dampeners don't know how to adapt for mass event is still occurring. Ta-da! Daytime! Yeah. How many gyroscopes does this guy have? Okay, so this tiny thing has 2. I wonder if I was just under gyroed as part of my issue. And just my whole balance of thrust might be off. Which, you know, I suppose that's fine. Oh, I did just realize I can probably, well, potentially use this little forklift to go rescue myself and flip my ship back over. But yeah, I'm noticing high thrust and gyro power is probably... I may, if I can get myself fixed, I'll add gyros just to test real quick as sort of a final thing. Because I'm wondering if it's me... I don't want to make my statements unfairly. So I do want to verify if issues are because of me or because of game. Looks like I may have to fly through that little cage for this next bit. There we go. I do have to grind something. And I guess this is a good... Looking at this entire experience as sort of continued gameplayified tutorial, this is a good sort of, you know, here is how you do XYZ. This is a great tutorial of like precision flying, teaching you kind of how to navigate around and stuff. So that's not too bad. Like, something like this, I mean, it's roomier than it would need to be. Oh, hold on. I see a puzzle. Let there be light. Yeah, something like this could teach you, here's how you know, fly into a mining hole with a mining ship. Kind of get you used to the controls and how they feel so that you kind of know what you're doing. I'm gonna see if I can get both of these at once. Just probably gonna cause some jank with the flight controls. Might even cause my whole ship to spin around. That was happening for a while. Oh no. Just seems like I can't keep it in the air, but that's fine. Especially because I can bump into things at, you know, 10 meters a second and do absolutely nothing to them. Which I rag on because it feels a little bit, you know, it takes away some danger. And I like having there be danger and risk to everything I'm doing. But at the same time, especially with the controls for everything being a little jank and overly twitchy, it is kind of a good thing, and it saves a lot of, especially at this stage of, like, if you were a brand new SE player and you're trying to fly your ship around and you bump that wall and this entire thing exploded, you'd be pissed and annoyed and say the game is broken. And you'd kind of be, you know, you wouldn't be, I mean, you wouldn't necessarily be right, but you wouldn't be necessarily wrong either. It just isn't, it wouldn't be well balanced for people who don't know what they're doing and have the skill set already. So it is probably good. It just feels like a bit of a, it's an oversimplification even beyond what's already the more simple flight controls and Space Engineers. Feels like it takes away some of the potential excitement that can come from, you know, screwing something up. It does look beautiful though. Just, I mean, looking out on this and the snow as I fly to, I think my best bet's gonna just be to try and tip her over. Oh, okay. Well, that doesn't work. If I lock to it? Nope. Fascinating. Okay. Maybe I can try just kind of rolling over from here? No. Do I still have gyroscopes? Yeah. Let's try adding more gyros and see what that does. So that is 7 more gyros. Another benefit of the, low speed impacts not causing damage thing, I should be able to wrangle myself around without fear. Though, I mean, I can turn myself. I have no idea where my mouse cursor. Okay, there it is. Yeah. You know, doesn't seem... Doesn't seem like I'm gonna get it flipped over. Ha. Okay. I think if I do this, I can change everything to creative mode, which should let me copy and paste this guy and at least see if it flies better with more gyros. Yep. That's a creative mode paste. It just fell to the ground, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and... Oh. Okay, those still work, they just got a little scraped up. That's fine. Okay. Dampener's on. Okay. So with 7 more gyros, and it still lolls around, it's still easy to overcorrect a little bit. But it does respond a little better. So I am thinking that my issue was just under gyroed for... It does seem like there are different flight characteristics almost between space and atmo. There's some sort of like change in how things are calculated. I could be wrong on that. But I wonder if yeah, part of it's just... I mean, part of it is just you accelerate very quickly in gravity, I guess at 9.8 meters per second quickly, which is pretty quick. Yeah, I think I'm happy to say that part of that failure was on my designing a ship for space and not for planets, and then trying to land it on a planet. So real quick, just for fun, let's boost into this mount. Or actually, I know what I want to boost into. I'm gonna overshoot it. Oh, I'll hit something. Blammo. Ooh. I think tanks might do explosive area damage. That's exciting. Because that took out a whole bunch of stuff. It's fun that that's in the game from the get-go. Okay. On this forest looks pretty... Just flying back to do my outro, but... Yeah, I mean, you cannot fault... I mean, look at those trees. You cannot fault this game for how it looks. The lighting is just... it's very good. Very good. I can't wait for there to be, feel like there are fun reasons to exist on planets, because I do think the game is going to mostly be there with then hops in between. Kind of like SE1. A lot of SE1, you end up just being on a planet doing stuff because that's fun. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it here for SE2 in general. When things are added, I will be coming back. I'm not just like writing the game off completely, of course. Hopefully, again, my hope is that eventually this will be the game we all play instead of SE1, that it'll have everything we want from SE1 and sort of fully replace it. But it's nowhere close to that yet. There's a bunch of jank. There are some sort of quality of life things that make it really awkward to play in. That all said, there is a ton of potential, and I'm really excited. There's so much they can do here. There's so much room to grow and improve, and I do think that they've learned a lot. The big issue with SE1, the sort of limiting factor of it, is that, I mean, they're using what's, I think, like a 20-year-old engine now as the back end. It was developed when Keen was like 3 dudes just hanging out in Prague. It's all very... SE1 is built on just piles upon piles of awkward sort of thrown together because we don't really know what we're planning to do code. SE2, they've got a vision, they've got a full team, they've got a ton of experience right off the get. I don't know, I can't say for certain, but if I'm right, part of the whole point of SE2 is that they were starting from the get-go with the ability to make everything, with the ability to keep improving, making everything backwards compatible and easy to go in and adjust so they can build on it and change things without breaking everything. That alone, assuming that actually is happening, that alone means that we have a very good chance of getting an incredible game out of this. Even if it's not there yet, and I don't think it is, but I'm still very excited for where it's going to go. If nothing else, I think it'll be fun to have mechanical blocks and then also be able to play with water and water physics and just like liquids flowing around. So yeah, that's SE2 in its current state. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Feel free to check out the other stuff I've done. And until next week, bye bye.